Did you just get through a family gathering and you feel like you want to pull your hair out? There was somebody there that just, oh man, every time you get together, they just know that button to push. We're going to talk a little bit about that, how to be able to help you get through it with God's help and maybe find a little bit of peace along the way. Hi, welcome to the show. This is I'd Rather Be a Buffalo. This is podcast. My name is Kevin Gregg. This show is designed to help you get through the storms of life with Christ, help deepen your relationship with God, and to help you listen to follow God's calling and purpose for your life. Thanks for joining us. At the time that I'm recording this, we're just at the tail end of the holidays. We've just gotten through Thanksgiving. We've gotten through Christmas. At the time I'm recording, it's just before New Year's. It'll probably be coming out after that. But I guarantee you that you got together with family or friends, and more than likely there's somebody that just pushed your buttons, right? Somebody that you just thought, every time there's something that comes up or some little thing that this person does that just drives you crazy. And I know I've been there before in the past. There's been so many times where you get together and it's not necessarily for the holidays, right? At the time that you're looking at this video, you could have gathered together for somebody's birthday or an anniversary. It could have been even at a funeral, right? Where you're gathering together with people that you haven't seen for a long time. And, I get it. You may have these people that are in your life that uh, whatever it is, there may be memories from the past, there may be hurts from the past, unresolved issues. Maybe there was an argument that you guys got into a long time ago that the it just hasn't been resolved. And how do you navigate this, right? It's super, super challenging, especially when you get these feelings that come up for yourself that you just feel maybe wronged, slighted, um, angry. Maybe there's a point that you feel that you want to get across. Maybe you feel as if you've been disrespected in the past. Um, that you've got a point that you need to get across to this other person and that they're just not going to listen to you. There's something that is so important about what Jesus was talking about on the Beatitudes, on the Sermon on the Mount, especially when he talked about blessed are the peacemakers. There's something that Jesus has called us to specifically in our walk, that things happen when we aim for some version of peace. And I want to be very clear about this when I talk about this. This isn't about um, being a doormat. This is something that they talk about a lot in recovery programs. You don't want to um, put aside bad treatment or bad behavior that's been done to you and give permission to the person to be able to do that bad behavior towards you again. That's not acceptable at any point, right? Um, especially, I put a caveat with all of this. If you've ever been the recipient of physical or sexual abuse, it's a very complicated matter, and I don't mean to be trite or trivial about that. I really do hope that you're able to work through this with a professional, whether it's a therapist or a pastor or a truly beloved friend that can help you guide through that. I just want to put that out there. Um, the situations I'm going to be talking about they don't dive into that. So I do want to recognize the issues that you may have gone through. But for other people that have gone through stuff where you just feel like, yeah, this person did me wrong, right? This person may have lied about me or gossiped about me or spread stuff about me or belittled me or whatever that is. How do you get over that? How do you get over that? I do want to recommend this. It's not all the solutions, but it's at least some things I've discovered along the way. Number one, bring it to God with all of this because He completely understands what your hurt is that you've gone through. Jesus experienced it when He went through that kangaroo court the night before He was crucified. He was brought in absolutely slandered, beaten up, lies told about him that just weren't true. And He took it, right? He took it because he knew what the truth was. There's going to be some people in some situations in your life where you may not get the opportunity to be able to tell your side of the story. God knows what your side of the story is. God knows what the truth is in all of this. And there's something to this. I love this. I've talked about it before, I think, on other episodes here, but there's a great phrase that they use in Catholicism, at least in some of the prayers I've come across, which is calumniation. Right? Calumniation is when somebody is speaking non-truths about you. It's basically a version of slander or lying, and they're spreading, intentionally spreading rumors about you. And you know, it's there. There are some prayers that are in there where you pray for peace when you're being calumniated, and go, Lord, you know the truth in all of this. I highly encourage you to bring any of your hardships and the problems that you've had with these people in the past to God with all of it, because He knows exactly what's going on. Lord, I'm feeling this frustration about this person, how they've talked about me in the past, how they've treated me in the past. And we can't control what people are going to do, what people are going to do or say, but we can control how we respond to it and not react to it, right? And it can be very challenging because there can be personalities that we run into our lives. And usually it's when you're looking for somebody that's wanting to stir it up, you might have that, that aunt or that uncle whenever you gather together at a family reunion. They always know that little thing that they can say that'll get you going, right? And there may be something to that where they want to get that response from, they want to get that reaction from you because it might be something that they thrive on. Listen, I've seen this happen before when you're dealing with trolls online, right? You are dealing with personality types that are out there that they are looking for some sort of an explosive reaction because something inside of them, it turns on a switch for them and they just go, oh. But something happens when you don't play, when you're neutral, when it's almost behavior extinction, right? Where you just go, okay. And as neutrally as you can, try to respond to that. That's not an easy thing to do, especially when you have those feelings that are surging up inside of you. This is not something that you figure out immediately. It's something that I've learned over the years through prayer, through being in therapy, through being in recovery programs, talking it out with other people. It's taken a long, long time as I go through this stuff to go. I think it's so important why we need to be in fellowship with other people to make sure that we're talking about this stuff or writing down what we're feeling or how we're dealing with this stuff. And I know that it might feel repetitive where you just go, oh, I feel like I just keep going over the same things over and over and over again. There's something that happens when we go over things over and over and over again, is that eventually you'll get to a point where you unlock, especially if you're inviting God into the process. God, why do I keep having these feelings? Why does this keep coming up for me? Why do I keep feeling this resentment, this anger, this vengeance towards some of these people that I have in my life? Help turn my heart around. Help me turn around my mind and my heart, right? The Bible is specific about that, about changing your mind and your heart, right? But sometimes you can only do that. Sometimes you can only do that supernaturally with the Holy Spirit's help. And part of this is about inviting God in. Even if you don't know God, it's about going, God, I don't even know you. I don't even know how you can help. But please show me something. Please put something into my life. Please put a video or a book or something into my life or a song or something in my life that can just help soften me. And it's almost softening. Again, I want to go back to this. It's not about being a doormat and allowing people to continue abusing or belittling or whatever. It's about learning how to go, huh, that doesn't affect me anymore. I had a situation with somebody in my close circles where I used to gather on a regular basis, and I'd always feel myself um, clenching, getting nervous. I always carried it. The way I always carried it was like it was always like in my chest. It always felt like this tightness, not like a heart attack, but that's sort of where I carried the tension. And the situation that would always happen when I would get together with this person at these gatherings was I want to make sure that I say the right thing that's not going to damage the relationship and also to honor the person's status, um, and
Yeah.
it was a weird tightrope situation. It really was like walking on eggshells because normally what would happen is the default that sometimes would happen with this person is um, cynicism. Sometimes there would be mockery that would come into it, and it's just it's just sort of the person's it's their demeanor, right? It's their demeanor, and some it's and I would say it's I don't even want to say it's their demeanor. I want to say it's sort of their default safety mechanism, right? This is a way that they've learned to defend themselves or to at least protect themselves is by, you know, hey, I'm going to make fun of this or mock something or belittle something. And I found myself so many of these situations whenever we gathered together, I found myself trying to mold and to be, um, try to be the person that either wouldn't be subjugated to this or try to avoid any of those little things because sometimes some of those things would land my way and it hurt. It would hurt. It would hurt. I'd feel disrespected, belittled, all that other stuff, and then next thing you know I'd be holding on to this resentment. And I realized like part of the thing was this journey that this person is on, and I'm being very vague and specific because I want to, I want to honor them. But this journey that the person is on, they're trying to figure out their own stuff. They're trying to figure out their own junk. They're trying to figure out their own stuff that they're trying to heal from and to grow through. And sometimes along the way, and I'll just say this may be the scenario with people that you're running into in your life. There are going to be people in your life with your friends and your family that, and I'm not saying it's the right thing, but it's the way that they learn to navigate life. Um, they're the hero in their own story. They're going through their own junk, their own journey, all this other stuff. And along the way, they may assign a role to you. They may assign a role to you in order for them to help make their story and their life make sense. And part of that role, they may assign you as the bad guy or the idiot or the dope or the whatever. Oh, this is the lazy person, right? Whatever the narrative is that they have, they may put those labels and stuff on you. This is something that was a big revelation for me. This happened just within the last couple of years. I realized just because somebody may have those labels and may have assigned that to me in their story, it doesn't mean that I have to agree with their story or play the part that they want in their story. I can't change their mind. I can't change how they view me, what they think of me, that narrative arc that they have with me. But I don't have to mold myself in order to make their story work easier, right? As a matter of fact, I've sort of learned over the years to kind of go, huh, okay. And to also just be myself or say or do or act the way that I'm going to be, not harmfully, right? But unapologetically be who I am as a believing, faithful Catholic, you know, uh, with my viewpoints that I have on certain things, whether it's conservative leaning in my approach towards politics or whatever that stuff is, and just go, good, that's who I am. Okay, and I love the idea of still also loving and respecting. the person so that it kind of causes cognitive dissonance in the other person. What do I mean by that? They may have assigned me into a certain role where they think that I am a bad guy or this, or they want to paint me into a corner. And yet I can still love on them and hope the best for them and express that to them and start causing a little bit of cognitive dissonance inside of them that goes, wait a minute, that doesn't match up with what they are in my narrative of them. And that's okay. And whether or not that's not, it's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it isn't for me to cause them distress or to cause them to have, a spin out or breakdown or anything like that, or to, alter whatever their reality is. But it's to love them. And that's also the challenge that exists for me with these people that I may have a hard time with, is to look at these people and to go, somebody that may always come around and may always be pointing out something wrong that you did in the in the past, or Kevin, he's this type of person, or Sally, Sally, she's always, whenever you hear that phrase of she's always or he's always, right? That's somebody trying to assign a certain narrative to you. And when you're dealing with that, and especially if it's somebody that's saying something that's hateful, harmful, something that just, to look at them with compassionate love and to realize that you're looking at somebody that's broken, that's dealing with their own struggles and issues, and looking at them as best as you can with sympathy and hope for the best, even when they're still hurling junk at you. Sometimes you may have to equate it as like, it's like I've seen videos of this on Instagram where you see a junkyard dog, right, that's been raised in a terrible situation, and they're mangy and skinny and all this other stuff, but their default is to right. And you get somebody that's trying to come in and help them, but the dog's all the way backed up, and as much as the person's trying to reach in to help the dog to get him out of that scenario, the dog just wants to growl and snap, right? There's people that you have in your life, that's what's going on the inside with them. They're broken, they're dirty, they're they're starved. That's the interior state of their soul, right? That's the interior state of their soul. And so what they're doing is they're barking, lashing out, and wanting to bite, but they're broken. They're broken. And if you can see them, and it's not to dehumanize them or to do a status thing or whatever, but to just have sympathy for where they're at with their mind and their soul, and to ask God and ask Jesus in, and ask the Holy Spirit in, to go, Lord, show me whatever way that I can repair this. And even if there's a way that I can't do it, is there any way, Father, that you can supernaturally intervene here and to help repair this relationship? I don't know. It's just not easy, man. The inner dynamics that we have sometimes with our family and sometimes with our friends, it is complicated. But God has put us together for a reason. He's put us together because heaven is the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the communion of saints and angels. It's in community. We will be in heaven. Our goal, what we're aiming for with heaven, is to be with the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and with the communion of saints and angels. We're all together glorifying Him, but we're doing it as community. And God's put us in community and fellowship so that we're figuring this out, even with the people that we have a hard time with. Jesus' call of love your enemy as yourself, right? He does that for a reason, because of what it is that we're supposed to be doing, and having that compassion for those people that are also going through that hardship. So I pray for peace for you, that you're able to figure it out, write it down. use journaling exercises to do it. We do it over in I'd Rather Be a Buffalo with journaling examples so you can practice writing stuff down. Go over and visit I'dRatherBeABuffalo.com. You'll see examples of that. If this video helped you, please make sure that you like and subscribe so you can get more of these videos that will help you through your storms of life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.